Dear learners, welcome to the session on video production technique offers. So, I'm Dr. Pitobas Pradhan, Professor, Department of Mass Communication, Aligarh Muslim University. In this session, we will discuss what constitute the elements of video, how to understand each of the elements. We will also understand the techniques important in the production, the important techniques applied in the production of a moving video. By mastering these techniques, one can be a good video producer. A corporate employee can be a good producer of motion video to convey the company's point of view. You know, we are in a new environment, in a digital environment. We have a number of media of communication through which we can share the videos. Earlier, the number of channels for video sharing was limited, but now you have websites, social media, blogs, all these are numerous channels through which you can also share your moving video and tell your company's story creatively to engage audiences, improve understanding, and enhance trust on your company, on your organization. So let us start. We will start with the elements of an effective video. What makes a video effective? The first element we should understand is a suitable duration. What should be the suitable duration? Because a very lengthy video may not attract, may not keep the interest, and very short may not get enough attention. So what is important is it should be of a suitable duration. Then only people enjoy watching the video. Longer video, in case of a longer video, most viewers will not be fully engaged till the end. Somebody may leave after viewing a part, somebody may leave in the middle, and somebody may not continue till the end. So the length of a normal video should be between 30 seconds and 5 minutes. It could be a very small short video of 30 seconds and it can extend up to 5 minutes. I'm talking about short video. That is promotional video, okay, that you can make for the various platforms which are available now. Anything less or more than those time frames may not be optimal for involvement of the audiences, the captive audiences, okay. So 15 seconds to 1 minute for social media videos, that is the right duration. These are often shown to individuals who already know and follow you in order for them to engage because they are already familiar to you. So this could be the duration of social media video. Explainer video, this is second category of video that should last between 45 to 90 seconds. Explainer video should be, the duration of explainer video should be between 45 to 90 seconds because these movies are for explaining your brand, product, service, and there you must be concise. Elaboration of a product or a service may not catch the attention of the viewers. So this is why you need to be concise, you need to be brief in explaining your product or service. Training videos range in length from 1 to 5 minutes. When you are using a video for training of the newly recruits, you are training of the salespeople, in a workshop, because these movies educate and inform in greater depth. So training videos are meant to educate and train, educate and skill development. So they may require a longer run time. So this is how the three types of durations are suitable for three different formats of a video. The second aspect is captivating content. Besides the duration, another very important aspect is captivating content. Video's hook is an element used in the first few seconds of a video to grab the viewer's attention and make them want to keep watching. If the hook is not appropriate enough, impactful enough, then that purpose may be lost. So typically used at the beginning of a video to assist you in immediately capturing your viewers' attention and keep them interested throughout the video. So this is how the hook is a very important element that facilitate audience retention with your video. Hook should be as short as possible. It should be short. You can also use hook to remind viewers of what is to follow later on. Yes, sometimes hook is also used to inform in advance the viewers what is coming next. Key points to follow for an effective video production. What are the key points one should follow while producing for producing an effective video for communicating the corporate communication, corporation's message? That is when it is to be used as a tool of corporate communication. The first requirement, the first point to remember is style and look. Video is more than just what you feel. So style and look should be carefully considered. It is also important how it looks and how you say it. One must always keep in mind as to what kind of visual aesthetics is preferable. And of course, to a great extent, it will depend on the types of audiences and the nature of the audience and the nature of the setting where the video is to be screened. Is it clean, modern graphics? That has to be. Is it clean, modern? Does it use modern graphic? That is important. Or opting for drawings and amusing animations. Are you opting for drawings and amusing animations to enrich, to enhance audience retention? That is an option you have to consider. Creating an aesthetic that people will identify right away. That is very important to engage the people, to emotionally get the people connected to the content. Because often, the things we love, the aspects which are close to our chest, influences us to, see a particular content, stay with a particular kind of content. So creating an aesthetic that people will identify right away is important. Similarly, with voice and sound effects, how will the voice matter? A very attractive voice makes the difference. People love some voice qualities. We are reminded of some popular voice on All India Radio. The very first moment we are exposed to that, we identify those. Those are so popular. Okay. Is it formal and professional? Is the video formal? Is it a formal setting in which it is to be, presented? Or is it rebellious brand who is not scared to break the rules? That is just following the trend, prevailing trend could be one option, and another option could be doing something different. presenting a brand differently, telling a different narrative that is different from others. So that kind of video you can consider as a rebellious, that dares to care the rules, dares to break the rules, break the rules. What sound effects will go with it? Sound effect is very important. Sometimes the sound effects in the background creates more pleasant noises than the visuals, the real videos. So that is important. Sound effects in addition to voice over is always catchy. But remember that sound must not be overpowering, the visual. Okay. If it conveys a different message, then the visual message may be lost. Determine the mood for the music and effects to be used in your video. It is very important to engage, and in a circumstances where the video is to be exposed, and in what kind of situations, what kind of audience situations where it is to be exposed. Storytelling and formal connect. Aligning viewers with the appropriate emotion is very important, because otherwise they will lose interest in that content. By focusing equally on emotive storylines, the technical side will produce a product of unrivaled quality and improve audience engagement, which will organically travel. Okay. So storytelling and emotional connect, what is very important is, okay, besides the content, technicalities also play a vital role in creating that emotional connect. Okay. So video and audio quality. Viewers will pass through a bad looking video immediately. They will leave if the video is not of good quality. It is utmost important how the video looks and sounds. So sound as well as video, both are important to catch the attention of the viewers. Keeping in mind the resolution, which must be 1080 pixels, that for full HD, and must be stabilized, okay, so that the connect be made. Okay. So pixel quality, pixel I mean the picture elements, that is the resolution that defines the quality of the picture is important. So it should be 1080 pixel or more. When working on audio, the sound needs to be crisp without any background or ambient noise, because background or ambient noise can corrupt the sound effect you are giving, the sound effect you are using, the sound quality you are incorporating. Especially duped dialogues if required. Okay. Music used must not be so high that it overpowers the voice overs. If the music is so powerful that it overpowers the voice over, then the real message may not be clearly, identified, clearly audible. Okay. So music used must not be so high that it overpowers the voice overs. Viewers are more likely to stop watching due to poor audio quality rather than mediocre visuals. So if audio quality is poor, then the audience is likely to leave, because it is not clear to them. They can manage even for a mediocre video, but they cannot manage with very poor audio quality. So ensure that your narration and any background music are as clear as possible, that conveys the emotions, that conveys, that creates the an appropriate environment to receive the content. So video production techniques include 3 stages: pre-production planning like storyboarding, on-set practices such as stabilizing shots and using proper lighting, and post-production methods like editing and color grading. All these are important parts, important stages of a video production. So the first stage is pre-production, that is planning and preparing the logistic and finalizing the creative strategy before actual execution of the production process. What you do in planning: develop a script, storyboard, and a detailed short list to guide the production process. A list of tasks to be completed as part of the production process. Recce of location is also necessary in certain situations because you may be having multiple locations in mind for the shooting. And creating a very important, a very appropriate location for a shooting is very important. So a recce of location is also necessary at the pre-production stage. Logistics that handles administrative tasks, schedule the shoots, how the shoots are to be completed, and scout locations. All these are important tasks which are to be finalized before the actual production starts. A third part of the pre-production planning is, creative strategy. Deciding on the overall look and feel and how the visual elements will tell the story. So advanced visualization of the story in terms of the visuals planned, in terms of the locations identified, is a very vital aspect of a pre-production planning to ensure that the production will be of a desired quality. So analyze the script and its demand, that is the actors, props, locations, equipment required, lighting and sound needed. All these are to be carefully considered and arranged. The logistic has to be arranged accordingly by the time the production is to be executed. To determine the audio video needs, that is what kind of audio is needed for the proposed video, what kind of visuals are needed, whether to shoot in portrait or landscape mode, the resolution of the video, what should be the resolution of the video, and audio requirements such as voiceover, music and sound effects are to be planned properly before the real execution of the work, because these are proper planning is half done. So proper planning is ensuring that things will proceed properly, systematically, without any obstacle, without loss of resources, without loss of quality, without roadblocks. Okay, and the real production stage is, the second stage, video production, techniques of video production. What has to be taken care of during this stage? Production is all about filming, creating the films, real films, capturing the shots, capturing the visuals. And there are 3 important parts of it. One is composition. Use the rule of thirds to frame your subject off-center for a more dynamic shot. So rule of 3 must be followed. Okay. Optimum usage of the environment to set up the shot in order to make it aesthetically pleasing to view. Regarding stability, stabilize your footage using a tripod, because often stabilizing the shooting is very important. Otherwise, it will create disturbance to the visuals. So stabilize your footage using a tripod to avoid shaking, that is vibration, yeah, any kind of a shaking. Unprofessional look, that will look unprofessional if it is not stable. For handheld shots, maintain smooth and stable movements. Okay, unplanned movements, sudden movements may create, may blur the images. Usage of sliders or gimbals can also aid in maintaining stability of your camera, of your in the course of taking the visuals. A third important part of shooting is lighting and sound. Use of a 3-point lighting system properly in indoor conditions, or the usage of reflectors in an outdoor setting. If you are capturing the visuals in an outdoor condition, then the usage of reflectors, okay, is an important consideration. Okay, to ensure good lighting so that the quality of the audio and video is enhanced. Okay, the quality of audio particularly, because here we are dealing with sound, so to enhance the quality of sound captured, okay, is important. Poor lighting or sound can make or break your video. And now the last step of production, which is of course very important, is we will continue with the parts of the production. The other three aspects are, camera control. Because in the course of shooting, you need to control the camera appropriately. Employ camera movements like panning, tilting and zooming whenever required, as per the requirement of shot. What kind of shot you need to capture? What kind of shot you want to use? So control focus to guide the viewer's eyes, how the viewer is likely to see the visuals. If required, use of Jimmy, Jeep and dolly tracks can also be implied, okay, to control the movement of the camera, to capture stability in the, to maintain stability in the capturing of the visuals. Fifth part is exposure. Fifth aspect of production is, exposure. Balance aperture, shutter speed and ISO to get the correct exposure, because balanced exposure is very important. Desired depth of field and motion blur. These are important aspects of, the exposure of your camera to the particular scene, that will manage how the quality of picture that it takes. Also, to be kept in mind that the lighting condition is not too harsh. Sometimes we focus too much light on the scene, okay, that may be treated as harsh for the camera you are using, that may be too harsh for the exposure you are using, or it must not be too low, so that these parameters may not be tweaked to an extreme setting. So these are very important. So exposure should be balanced, especially the aperture, shutter speed and ISO, okay, should have correct exposure balance, okay. Then shot variety. What kind of shots you are going to take? Shoot multiple takes and angles, because sometimes one shot may be damaged, may not be appropriate at a later stage when you review it. So take multiple, shoot multiple takes, shoot multiple times and from multiple angles, and at the review stage you can decide which particular take or from which particular angle will be used. Experiment with different focal lengths and perspectives to give you more options in the edit, because if you have more options, if you have more takes, then only you will have the option to choose at the editing stage, at the post-production stage. Also, using of different lenses, okay, such as anamorphic lens and experimental lighting can enhance the video quality and viewers experience. So understanding of the various lenses available, qualities of those lenses, the performance of those lenses is equally important. So the video producer need to understand these different types of shots, different types of lenses, how to maintain exposure balance, how to control the camera, how to maintain stability in placing the camera. All these are very important parts that ensure that your shoot is balanced. What you have captured is balanced. Okay, so these are very important points to remember. And you know, the last part of among the three, that is pre-production, production, and the post-production. The post-production actually we will consider some important points which are very important at the post-production stage. And one important part of post-production, in fact the most important part, is editing. That is, assemble your footage, whatever you have captured through the takes you have made, using techniques like transitions and combining music and sound effects to tell a compelling story. Because you have taken several visuals, you have taken several footages, and editing is the stage where you will assemble all the footages to create a narration, to create a sequence of transition. Okay, so using techniques like transition, how this the scenes will move, will progress, and combining music and sound effect to tell a compelling story are various parts of various jobs handled at the stage of post-production. Editing can be done on free software such as DaVinci, okay, that is freely available. Anyone can use it. It is actually DaVinci Resolve. It can be used by any beginner, any layman who wants to produce a very short video, and you can use it for editing purposes. Professional editing softwares like Avid Media Editor, earlier it was Avid Express. So Avid Media Editor, Final Cut Pro and Adobe Premiere Pro can also be used, but these are professional software. You have to learn these softwares systematically, meticulously. These are professional level softwares. You can use these for creating softwares, creating professional video, professional quality video. Of course, these are often available for a subscription, sometimes available as part of the Adobe package. Okay, that can also be subscribed for learning editing, but these are actually very voluminous softwares that needs a computer of very good configuration to use it. Color grading, it is another important aspect of a stage at the stage of a post-production. Use both color correction to fix issues and creative grading to establish a mood and visual style. These are important aspects because color and the grading are equally important. Okay, the color, choosing the color and its a grading. So this can involve adjusting color, contrast and light. This may be determined in the pre-production stage. We have already discussed this issue. We have already thought about this issue at the post-production, and this is the stage when we will be giving final touch. So this may be determined in the pre-production stage as to what the look of the video will be, okay, to set the mood and tone of the video. So it is just a reflection of what we have planned during the pre-production stage with the help of what we have already created, the content we have captured during the production stage. So it is all about linking the endeavors during the three stages. Sound design, to ensure the optimum use of voiceovers, sound effects and music wherever it is needed is very important. And editing of sound is equally important, and those needs to be edited and corrected and articulated whenever needed. We have already captured some sound, and those needs to be properly edited to convey a pleasant sound as part of the story. The sound editing and dubbing, for sound editing and dubbing can be done using freeware softwares such as Audacity. You can use Audacity to start with for beginners, and you can also use professional software such as Adobe Auditions. That is a professional Adobe audio editing software that can help you to make edit, correct and change the articulation in the audio you have already So I hope you understood the important points about the elements of an effective video, what makes a video an effective tool of communication, and how to plan for production of a good video, effective video to tell a corporation story. That is to use it as a very important tool of video. So I hope you understood the things I tried to make. Thank you.